Right, guys. Welcome to another episode of Deadlifts and Dirty Nappies. What was it we're going to talk about today then, Tony?
Today, mindset, obviously, for start of the month. Good topic to begin with, I think, and get back into this podcast because it's been a while. So, well overdue, mainly on my part, being away and other stuff. But yeah.
Might as well spend some time away with family, eh? Reset
Definitely.
your mind, if anything, when you're going on holiday.
Aye, 100%. No.
So, let's just kick off with basically it's how we both get into the right mindset, especially for yourself, coming straight off the back end of a holiday. I know you were saying to me not so long ago you were struggling in terms of getting your head back in the game when it comes to this coaching side of things.
Yeah.
So what have you done personally, I would say, is like in terms of these last 2 weeks coming back?
It was more, both the business side of things, even life in general. I'm one of them that struggle with the holiday blues, so getting back into a routine's quite difficult for me. But it was more forcing the issue, right? Because I know what I'm like personally. I could stay in bed rather than getting up at 5 o'clock, or I could not do the shop on a Sunday. So it was literally forcing myself to get back into the stuff that I know that drives me.
Yeah.
To change my mindset, because obviously before holiday and stuff, you're in your zone, aren't you? You're like, right, I've got to lose this weight or I want to look good on holiday. And as soon as you come back, you've got nothing to do that. One of the things that helped me on the coaching side of things, obviously I was away 2 weeks and I was doing my check-ins. I was accessible the whole holiday.
Yeah.
Because obviously people are paying for our services and you can't just say, right, I'm going on holiday for 2 weeks.
So it's the accountability side that kind of helped you with the clients.
Yeah,
really.
so on the coaching side, I didn't really switch off, but you've got to lead your group. You're the one in the community, the chat, dropping voice notes and making sure people have got the same energy as you. So even when you're feeling down, you've still got to drop those voice notes in. You've bit of a false persona, I suppose, just making sure that they're getting the value out of you.
Yeah, in a way I kind of get that, because obviously you want to still be relaxing in a way, but then you having to put yourself forward and be that person that's going to hold them accountable. Yeah, I can get that in terms of like your own mindset of why that can actually be. In a way, I can see why that's obviously affected you in the last 2 weeks as well. Trying to swing yourself back into it when realistically your mind not being there because you've been on that relaxed kind of barrier.
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of comes back to like general public in a way, especially with it getting warmer now in the summer and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think people do just kind of think it's time to just like relax a little bit. It's getting warmer. I've got a bit more free time. Whereas realistically, I think it's that mindset shift of where you actually need to realize that you don't have all the time in the world.
No.
And no matter how long you've kind of been struggling for, it could be that you've only struggled for a couple of months, whether it be with your weight, and you've only just then realised that it's not a problem, or it could be that you've been trying to do stuff for the last like 5-10 years. But I think just making that conscious effort and decision in your own mind to be like, now is the time. And yes, it can be difficult, but I think in terms of obviously what we do, obviously with coaches, we have it somewhat. We're already switched on to regard obviously the mindset kind of thing, but I think it's more just realizing in your own mind that things are only going to get better if you make that change. And until you've done them, you're going to be stuck.
Yeah.
And along with that, it's kind of the case of you kind of don't want to be satisfied where you are. So you always want to be trying to push yourself further. So in terms of like, let's say, for example, someone's overweight. They've been overweight for 5 years. And I think you've got a similar mindset with this. Is a case of they'll come to us, for example, and they'll say, I don't have time to train.
Yeah.
Like we've both done a post on it today. And the thing that instantly turns into my mind is it that you don't have time? Or is it that you are just being lazy in a way?
Lazy.
Because until you've actually realised and switched that switch in your mind and gone, no, I do have time. I could put watching Netflix to one side for one evening or two evenings a week and go for a walk. And I think it's just that little bit of that mindset shift in terms of that, just the scheduling side of things that I think needs to change.
The time excuse for me, I wouldn't say it rubs me up, but I'm trying to build an online business. I've got a full-time job. I've got 2 kids, 1 4, 1 just turned 1. And I've obviously got a wife to keep happy as well. So I'm doing all that. And when people turn around to me and say, I don't have time.
And they only have one child. This is the bit that's what does my annoying. They have one child. Yes, they might work a 9 to 5, but it's like, mate.
But even if you have 2 or 3 children, your children sleep.
Yeah.
And then the next excuse is, but by the end of the day when they're in bed, I'm knackered. But you've not tried to exercise. You've not tried to eat healthy. Give it a go for a week. And I bet your energy levels soon shift.
Energy levels shift. Your whole mindset changes for it all.
When you break it down, you speak to them about time. The first excuse is time. And then it's the energy. And they're not thinking right, and they've never give it a go. But then if I speak to people inside your program, my program, I'll guarantee you 95% of them will say, as soon as I started eating, not healthy, not clean. I don't call it clean.
No, it's not clean.
I think it's structured and it's getting your numbers dialed in as well.
Yeah.
The first thing that they see is their energy increase.
Yeah.
Before the weight loss, before anything, the energy,
first 2 weeks,
the way they feel. So,
first 2 weeks, people see instant changes. Like it could be that they see it in the first day. Sometimes with some of my clients, they're just eating better, sleeping better, and they're just like, "Holy shit!" Like the difference I feel now, just after a couple of days, to where I was. Yeah, and that's it.
Anyone that knows me, they know how difficult we've had it with our second child, especially recently. But regards sleep, like me and my wife were getting up anywhere between 8 and 11 times a night between us. And even when my wife was on maternity leave, it was that bad. Obviously, we had to take turns because otherwise she'd have been walking around like a zombie every day. So the tired side of things as well, I know not everyone's the same as me, and I know not everyone's got the same mentality. But I was still training 5-6 times a week. So maybe just change your mindset and try it 2 or 3 times a week and increase your steps. I'm not saying you must train 5-6 times a week for an hour, because that is time consuming. Some people genuinely don't have that time. So try 3 times half an hour a week. Just little mind shifts like that. But I think comfort zone plays a lot into it as well with your mindset.
100%. I think people's minds in terms of feeling comfortable, it's a sense of safety. And I think at the end of the day, you have to become, like I've said this multiple times. I think I've said it to yourself at some point, Tony. You have to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. Yeah. And it's not easy to obviously just turn that switch on. But if you just start making small conscious decisions, whether it be that you, rather than getting home from work, rather than sitting down, for example, you get in, get changed, and just go for a 10-minute walk. It's something more than what you was doing the day before. It's 1% improvements daily that will soon add up. So you do 1% change every single day for 7 days. 7% improvement.
Yeah, exactly.
Very quickly adds up over a month. Very quickly adds up for an overall year. And like Tony, you were just saying, you don't need to do it go straight into an hour's training session at the gym. No. It could be like 15-minute walk, 20-minute walk. Go and taking your kids to the park. It's something as simple as that. And I think situations like those, very easy. But I also understand the sides where there are parents and stuff that do have it a little bit harder. Might be parents that have multiple jobs, for example. Yeah. And there are situations.
Single parents. To be honest, though, I've got a couple inside my program, and they are absolutely smashing it. Yeah. Like, they have got it nailed. Like, obviously, one works full-time, one works part-time, so one of them can literally only go do home workouts when the child's asleep. But she's losing, on average, probably 1.5 pounds a week. She's just signed up for another 12 weeks. So there's people, full-time parents, single parents, full-time, and they've managed to find the time.
Yeah. I mean, one of my clients in the US, she's got 4 kids, works full time, and she never used to, when she first did her first onboarding, she was like, I feel like I'm just not going to have time to actually exercise. But when you actually sit down, you put everything into your Google Calendar, you put basically your non-negotiables. So whether that be work, waking up, eating, sleeping, you put all those in your calendar and then start breaking it down even further. So then you go into like your daily tasks, whether it be cleaning the house, like non-negotiables for looking after your kids, basically.
Yeah.
Put those in. When you find like you've got little gaps, it's those little gaps that you can quickly change.
Yeah.
And be like, I have 20 minutes spare time here. I can put the food in and put it in slow cooker or put it in the air fryer, whatever. Go for a quick walk around your house, do whatever. It doesn't have to be that you go outside. It could literally just be, rather than going back down and sitting on your couch, just get some steps in. Go walk around the back of your house if you want to.
I'm not even joking. Me and my wife always laugh and joke. If we're like doing, let's say one of us is at the gym on a weekend and one's doing washing, cleaning after breakfast.
Yeah.
We genuinely, in an hour and a half, we can do around 2,000 steps around the house.
Easily.
Just running around.
Easily.
Or, while the kids were having breakfast, we could just sit and watch Netflix. Like, it's an option.
Yeah.
Like, don't get us wrong, some days I am absolutely knackered. Like, Monday morning I woke up and I felt like I'd been hit by a bus. Like, my body was screaming at me, saying, like, let me rest.
Yeah, you need to rest.
But the kids weren't here because they stayed at the in-laws, and the missus was up going to the gym anyways, and I was going in the office, and it works out quite well, me going, so I avoid traffic. So I thought, right, I've not trained core in over 12 months. I'll just do core and half an hour on the stepper.
I can see where this is going.
And go in the sauna. But, like, obviously...
Bet your core was screaming after that as well, weren't
it? To be honest with you, that was... I'm dreading tomorrow because I'm feeling it tighten up now. But, yeah. But just going back to, like, your client in the US and the single parents that I've got inside the program, they're the people that I admire. They've got it tougher than me. Yeah. A hell of a lot tougher. But then you are getting people with... Look, everyone's different, and on the odd occasion, I do believe some people don't have the time or unable to train, or they might have issues at home. You never know what's going on behind closed doors, but 99% of people are just using it as a bullshit excuse. And
100%.
Obviously, when we're speaking to people, you're like, yeah, you listen. You're not going to turn around and say you're talking out your ass. But
I mean,
sometimes
I do.
I mean, in a roundabout way, I do when I'm prodding them and I get to the real answers. It is just an excuse, but yeah, I mean, it's not just about a mindset on the negative front. Obviously, people that are inside the program, one of the most rewarding things for me is the mindset shift within the program, because
100% with that.
So Debbie inside my program, she's absolutely smashing it. She's just finished a 12-week, and I had a call last night, and she's signed up to the end of the year. But she's just been away. Her in-laws live down south, and she was away for a full week, and she said, look, because we obviously had a conversation and we knew she was going 6 months, I said, just use this week as a reset and we'll get back to it.
Yeah.
But she was conscious what she's eating now. She's like subconsciously, her mindset is like...
Oh, I've had clients like that.
100% flip now, because even when she was saying when she gets a takeaway now, she's going for like a healthier gyro option rather than a pizza or little things like that. So, but it's those options. Like if she did have a 12-inch pizza and a load of crap, she'd probably wake up feeling terrible the next
like
2 days.
Yeah, you feel like shit.
So I just don't think the people that have never experienced it just won't see the benefits, because it is a lifestyle change, and part of that lifestyle is your mindset.
100%. It is your mindset. It is 100% is your mentality, and that's the kind of thing that I did a post yesterday. The amount of money that people actually spend on takeaway as well. And I think
Aye.
it's always like the quick option. And I think once you've taken out that mindset of thinking like, I've not got anything prepped for the kids, I've not got anything prepped for my own food. Get out of that mindset of thinking that your meals need to be like gourmet standard, or they need to be absolutely incredible, or no one's going to eat them. Like, it could literally be
Yeah.
something as simple as, if you've not got much time, chuck in some chicken in a bloody pan, chuck
I
on some
know.
potatoes, and do some veg. You're done.
Yeah. Oh, aye.
It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be pretty all the time, but
No.
it's those little changes in your life that really do make a difference. Like, I've had multiple
Oh,
clients for weeks on end now. I've had the same responses when it comes to like, is there anything more you can be doing in the program? It's like, no, you're giving me everything. You're giving me information when I need it, and I feel like I'm supported. And that's what it comes
yeah.
down to. It's having someone there to just basically support you and actually you can trust, that's
Yeah.
going to put you in the right direction. Keep your mind straight. And once you've got those and understood like your own mentality, and someone's been there to actually push your own mentality
Yeah.
and get you out of the rut, because let's be honest, everyone goes through the ruts. Everyone has their own struggles. I've been there for 5 years before I like fully took coaching into like so good. Fully took coaching like on board. Like, I was in a really bad rut mentally, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it does take a toll. But once you've actually realised that, oh shit, I need to make a change, that's where you start realising then is, okay, this is working. My mentality is better. You don't feel as frustrated when things do go wrong.
Yeah.
You have more resilience to other people around. So including like your work life changes
Yeah.
when you start actually doing it. And I think that's the biggest benefit that people need to realise that they will get from this.
Yeah.
It's not just all about the physical change.
No. And I mean, obviously, when people are inside our programs, we are their mentor, and I would say agony answer in some ways. But I mean, a couple of the ladies were having a few bad weeks not so long ago at home, personal life, and I didn't say it in a preaching way. I just said, me personally, when I'm going through tough times, the gym and exercise is a release. Forget the food, like, because let's try and manage it one step at a time.
Yeah.
For me, my first step, the release, is the gym. Even if it's just an hour of release, I forget about the problems going to a gym, because both of them, to be honest, had not been to a gym for 5 days, but they didn't tell me until checking day. Obviously, they didn't want to burden me with what was going on, and I totally get that. But then they did open up, and that's when I've said, just look, it's not for everyone, but just give it a go. If you've never tried it, you just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do go and you feel good, but then you go home and you want to eat junk, then look, you're only on a planet, it's not end of the world. You've got more important things going on, but just try, or forget the gym and try eating clean. See if that helps. Like,
I've done both methods.
Different angles. Both methods will work for the majority of people. I know they will. But not everyone's the same. So I would never say, this is what I do, this is what you must do. Just
No,
try different things.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same. I give different ways of approaching it if absolutely necessary. Like, if one way doesn't work, try the other. And I'm very much the same. As if it comes down to whatever they're struggling with. Obviously, if it's meant to be more food related, then you'd say obviously just lock in with food, forget everything else. If it ends up being exercise related, lock in with your exercise, forget everything else. If it's more mentality, that's where it comes down to, you have to dig that little bit deeper. It's not a case of obviously surface level. It can be deeper things. Like, it could be family members dying, could be social events happening at home and they're not telling you, or it could be that there's obviously more severe things going on and they're also not telling you that. But I think once you've got past them barriers, or even just tried to use techniques to get past the barriers, like, I'll tell a lot of my clients to use things like Headspace. Like, watch some Headspace videos and like meditation and stuff. Try different techniques. I did a mindset weekly call not so long ago because I had three? No, I have 4 clients in 1 week tell me that they've been struggling with like motivation
Yeah.
and the rest of it. I was like, what the hell? Have you been drinking the same water or something?
Aye.
So I was kind of just like, right, I'm going to have to do a mindset call and basically just get everyone's mind back in the place and just understand that you don't need to be perfect all the time. And I think that's one of the big things that people tend to feel like they're letting others down by
Yeah.
not sticking to the goals and not sticking to, like, especially for us as coaches, they're not sticking to the plans. But I think we as coaches are detrimental in this, and that we have to kind of make them understand that it's not a case of being perfect all
No.
day, every day. 80% of the time is perfectly fine. Even if some days you drop to 50%, as long as the day after you wake up, you get locked back in, and you're good.
Yeah, well, this is one thing that I always say to people, and I suppose the benefit of someone inside a program have got people to lean on like ourselves and the communities that we're building. If you speak to most people, and I'm not talking about weekends, let's say someone starts a diet on a Monday, they're really good Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, fall off the wagon, like that. In fact, not even fall off the wagon. Let's say someone brings some treats into work and they end up having 400 unexpected calories. You can guarantee you that person just thinks, oh, well, that's me off the wagon, I'll start again Monday.
Fuck it,
But
week.
I always say within the group, one bad meal doesn't make it a bad day. One bad day doesn't make it a bad week, and so on. Like, so what if you couldn't resist picking at your kid's tea? Like, tomorrow's a new day.
Yeah.
Have you trained? Yes. Oh, well, so you've had 600 calories of chocolate. Well done. Let's start again tomorrow. And I suppose that's the difference of being inside a program, having not just the coaches to lean on. You've got people that are similar minded, and I'm sure yours is the same, but my group support each other, and they do literally just say, like, so what?
Fuck it. Like, you've got people in there that are been there longer, and I think it's like the newer ones that come in. They tend to struggle a little bit more.
I love, like, especially if I'm in work and I can't reply to people, I'll open my WhatsApp chat and there's 70 messages.
Fucking blown up.
I've not been involved in the conversation. But the only downside to that is because it's your community, your group, you're the leader. It's not like you can just go to the bottom and catch up. You've literally got to read the messages to see what's going on. But
all the information, if that's correct, and then
at
correct.
At the same time, it's like, to be honest with you, like, even when someone does put a wrong answer, someone might question it, or like, that's when I'll just say, like, thanks for, like, speaking up, but avoid doing that. This is where to go, kind of thing. But the fact that people are giving it a go and trying to support each other, I love seeing that. But that's definitely one of the benefits, especially on the mindset of being part of a coaching program, is that you won't fall off a wagon on a Wednesday or a Thursday or...
Yeah. I think the other one as well is making sure that obviously you're trying to be the example with your kids as well, and being the example for your family. Because I think when it comes to your mindset, and obviously you're not just doing it for you. So I think you've got to kind of think a little bit further than that when it comes to your own mindset. And if you feel like you're trying to quit, or you're trying to... You're starting something, rather than thinking, I'm doing this for me. Think of it, you're doing this for you and your family, not just for you. Yeah. Because I think that's the biggest shift. I mean, for me it was anyway, when I realised that I needed to fucking get my arse in gear when it came to my own health and fitness. After I'd gained, like, I think it was like 15 kg, I was like, nope, this is way too fucking much. I think that's where I was kind of like, shit needs to change. It's not just for me anymore, it's for my family.
Yeah, and, well, go on, sorry.
No, you're right, go on.
No, I was just going to say, I suppose that my mindset, realistically, when I'm thinking I'm only doing it, like, I'm setting an example for my kids with fitness, is only really since I've started the online business, and it's nothing to do with the business side of it or financially. It's been more aware of, because I've never been that person that's put on 15 kg, or, like, don't get us wrong, I've been bigger than what I am, but I've never been unfit or uncomfortable as where I've not had the energy to look after the kids. But more consciously when you are off plan and I'm eating more Haribo and more chocolate, my energy levels do drop, but it's only consciously now since I started the online business, not because I'm preaching it to parents, because I'm seeing the benefits of the people that I'm coaching. That yeah, it is actually for my kids, and they're watching what we're doing. They're watching what
Yeah.
my wife, she trains, she's in the gym all the time, so they're seeing what we're eating. They're eating similar stuff to us now, and I mean, my missus Delilah's that interested, so she is picking things up and she's well aware.
Yeah.
She's been to the gym a couple of times with Danielle, like a parent
Daughter
kid
day,
class.
whatever, yeah.
Like, I'd love to do that, but there isn't one for dads and daughters round here. I'm sure there will be sometime soon, but Delilah's dead into what we're doing, and because she sees us going to a gym and stuff, she's always intrigued. So they are watching. Their eyes are never off you, and I mean, she's at an age now where she's curious about everything and nothing gets past her. So,
How old is she now? Is it
4.
4? Yeah, so she's at that age when she's curious. She wants to be learning and doing and copying, basically. Same with my 5-year-old. It's like whenever I'm not able to actually get to the gym, for example, I do a home workout. All
Yeah,
3 of my kids usually get involved. Not so much the eldest anymore. He tends to just hide away and does his own
yeah,
thing. But like my daughter and the youngest, my 5-year-old, he tends to jump in and like it just having that little bit of a shift and thinking, yes, start doing stuff, doing it for your kids and everything else. It hits that mindset, but it's not just you doing it for you; it's
no,
the mindset as well. And I can't like stress it enough of how much difference it plays in your overall family and everything else when your kids want to be active with you.
yeah,
It it's good for your own mentality as well because it shows that you could potentially have someone there by your side pushing you along.
yeah,
As if you start to slip, they'll notice it, and then they can. I know mine do anyway. They comment when I'm like
yeah,
when I'm going. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've eaten some shit over the last couple of days because I was going to the event obviously on a Friday. I avoided everything. I was like, nope, I'm staying on plan. I'm staying on plan. It came to coming back on Saturday and then over through Sunday. I was like, nope, I'm having brownies. I want some cookies. I was like, for fuck's sake. And my daughter's like, you're not meant to be having that, Daddy. I was like, shush. So
yeah.
they do pick it up.
No, but the thing is, you know for a fact you can get back on plan.
Yeah.
It's the people that don't have a clue with food, but I suppose that's why people like us are building businesses and trying to benefit people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna say, obviously, just going back before me saying like time isn't really an excuse with me given my lifestyle and how busy I actually am, but I'm also grateful. And one thing I will say to people listening, if you have got a partner and they're not into the gym, and let's say you're taking 5 hours out to go to the gym, train, make sure your partner does get that 5 hours back themselves, because
Yeah.
you're not just in the gym, you're not just away from your family. For me personally, it's a bit of an escape, a bit of me time, and I think everyone, where possible, can get that. And what that will do to your mind, there's not many things better, to be honest. But yes, you need to be selfish to say, right, I've signed up to a coach, I'm now going to the gym, this is how I'm eating. Yes, you do have to be selfish, but you're not doing it just for you, you're doing it for them.
Yeah.
But just make sure you give something back to the partner, and it's a level playing field.
100%. And on that as well, it's like it's not even a case of where it could be a short time. It could be short time sacrifice for
Yeah,
long term benefits. Like, you don't need to be doing the same stuff all the time. You get to a certain point, and whether that be fat loss, muscle gain, whatever, you'll get to a certain point, and you'll feel happy in yourself, and you can start living a bit more of a normal life again. You don't need to be in the depths of a cut or stupidly
no,
high surpluses. It comes to the point where you actually can enjoy life and still be able to make progress and stay the
yeah,
same way. So it just comes back to the time, is how much more time do you actually want to waste not
yeah,
letting your mind, like, not being in a great mindset with yourself, not having the confidence. it's everything together. And
Definitely.
I think it's just a little bit of food for thought to think for yourselves is, what could it look like in the next 6 months, for example, if you did make that change, and make a vision for yourself. Write it down and do some form of journaling if that helps. Is just write down your goals, write down your current mindset, and envision where you want to be in the next 6 months. And I think that'll be the key to your mindset shift, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. And by the way, signing up to a coach isn't for everyone, but what I will say is give both of us a follow on our socials. We give free value pretty much every day between us. You'll see our testimonials. We often run free workshops, free 2-week competitions. So if you're interested, give us a shout, and just give us a follow, and hopefully we can help you shift that mindset and you become a better person for it.
Yep, 100%. So give it as a follow. And Mikemckaycoaching and
Coaching, yeah.
Yeah, Tonymasterscoaching. There we go.
Spot on.
I'll leave you there, guys.
Thank you, guys. Cheers, Mike.